we got a Nerf gun. And one thing that I noticed is that the Nerf gun that I had around my house when I was just playing with it and shooting with it, the thing fires a lot harder and a lot stronger than anything that I was playing with when I was a kid. Um, I guess they're these Nerf Ultra and Nerf Rival guns that are, if you look at the packaging, they actually have, they say for kids age 14 plus, and then the kids on the packaging actually have like a face guard on, which I thought that was interesting that it's still a toy, but you're supposed to wear a face guard while you're playing with it. So what we did, we set up our high-speed electronics, our Versatech electronics, with a sensor mounted on the wall here. I'll play this video. And my hand is not nearly that steady. I had the thing on a mount to hold it steady, but I'll just play this a few times. We fired this little dart into the sensor and took a look at the impact. So of course, this type of test is something that I imagine if you were manufacturing this type of a toy and marketing it, you would be required to show, you know, what the force of that impact is. Is it going to hurt somebody? Do you need to wear a face guard? Do you not? But as you can see, that's no joke. That's pretty powerful. So, and here's a movie showing the same impact, but we slowed it down a little bit. You can see, just stepping through one frame at a time, you can see when that peak impact hits, and then when it dissipates. And realistically, for this application, for an impact test, for those of you who do this type of impact testing with data acquisition, and this is true for pretty much all data acquisition, not just Tekscan, you typically want to get probably like 10 frames from when that impact first touches to when it ends, you know, to get an idea of where the peak actually is. We only got 3 or 4 here. And when you only get 3 or 4, you might actually miss the high point, right? You might not have enough time granularity to see when the true peak was. So if we were going to set this test up again, we would probably, you know, think about a different sensor that could scan a little bit faster and get more points in there. Still tells the story pretty well, I think, though, especially considering this was, you know, all done at home in my house here, just with what I had on hand. So some tying this to the real world, as promised, applications that we see out there in the field, drop testing, you know, something like a cell phone, like you see here, drop it without the case, drop it with a case on it, see how much added protection you get from that. Collision testing, you know, vehicle crash testing. Imagine like a bumper with a crumple zone. You want to know how the bumper is actually collapsing. Is it doing its job? Or maybe sensors even on a crash test dummy to see, you know, different, you know, crashing impacts from different speeds. And we've done a few gun recoil assessments where you actually put a sensor on the shoulder of somebody firing a rifle and see how, you know, that impact against the shoulder, kind of for an injury case. And another one, a good one would be kind of sports padding. So I've seen out in the world a company that makes hockey pads, and they have a test rig where they drop a fixed weight from fixed height onto a leg form, and they do it with no pad, with a Tekscan sensor on it, and then they put the pad over it, and they do it on different types of padding and look at how much protection it's actually offering. And I'm sure there's plenty more out there. Oh, one more would be, think like water bottles and any kind of plastic jug, plastic bottle. Companies that make those will drop test them to make sure that, you know, you drop your water bottle from 3 feet or 4 feet high. You don't want it to just explode and spew water everywhere. So that's one design consideration. But they also want to use as little plastic as possible, both for economic reasons and for environmental reasons. So they're always trying to optimize, you know, what's the least plastic I can use, but get the bottle to survive a certain drop height, and, you know, what pressure does it create when it drops.